Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you with another share for Cut to You using this gorgeous cut file. If you read my last blog post, I did say I wanted to use that cut file, and here I am. I'm so happy that I got it onto a page. I love it so much. I just showed you the photo that I'm working with and my backed cut file. The photo is of the lovely Gwen, aka Boss Lady, myself, Tamara, also on the design team, and Karen, also on the design team. I was lucky enough, I think I mentioned in another video, to head over to a retreat earlier this year and hang out with these amazing humans. And I am finally getting around to scrapping some of these photos. So I used this cut file, and I am using the Pink Fresh Studio Delightful collection, I think it's called. And I did also use the dark blue pattern paper in that cut file is from Life Right Now. Yes, Life Right Now. So I did back all of that off screen. If you notice, you would have seen there was a ton of little tiny leaves in that cut file, and I actually used my Cameo to cut those out rather than cutting them by hand. I just got the internal pieces in my Silhouette software and grouped each of the leaf clusters together, then did an offset and cut those on some green pattern paper through my Cameo, and just carefully piece those back where they went in the cut file. I have added a stitch border to my layout here, and also around my photo, which is a black and white photo. And you will notice that I'm using lots of really pastel colours here, light and airy colours. I wanted to add a little bit of something to my background, so I'm using some Distress Oxide ink pads here and some water, adding a very light wash of colour. Decided to go with the pink and the yellow, and I'm using two of each colour. The two pinks are Spun Sugar and Kitsch Flamingo. So the Spun Sugar is super light, but it is a really pretty colour, and it matches that watercolour pink paper beautifully, and the Kitsch Flamingo just brings out some of those darker tones in that pink as well. And then the yellows that I'm using are Squeezed Lemonade and Scattered Straw. One is like more of a true yellow, and the other is kind of a bit more of a, I don't want to, it's not orange, it's not dirty, it's kind of more brownish, but not really. I hope that makes sense. And I have, because I didn't add a lot of water, it didn't take a great deal of time to dry. You did see me using my heat tool. I just wanted to make sure that each colour was dry before I went in with the next colour. I didn't want to blend all the colours together. And this paper still walked heaps, like heaps. So you'll see that I use weights as I'm working on it. Wanted to add some splatters because it's me and it's a bit of a mixed media layout, so how can I not add splatters? I'm just using my two darker colours of ink here. So that is the Kitsch Flamingo for the pink and the Scattered Straw for the yellow, and I'm just adding those over where the painted sections are. And then because I'm using a black and white photo, I got a little, I used the same smaller paintbrush and added some black splatters to my background. I thought that was a nice way to incorporate the black around the page a bit more without it being completely overwhelming, and with it being enough that the photo still is pretty obvious when you look at the layout. So I've added some scrap cardboard behind my photo, and I'm just sticking that down. And I'm going to add my title next, which is actually an acrylic piece from when Anna's Craft Cupboard used to be around. They had their own little acrylic company. It was called Embellishing, and I've still got some of these left over and love them. And as you could see, that one was actually broken. I stuck it down onto my layout, and you would never even know if you didn't know. So this one took me a little while. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for my embellishing, I do leave some of the struggle in for you because I think it's important that that you don't think that this just happens, you know, in a snap. Because it doesn't. Some days I really struggle and I move things around the page 14 million times before I get it in the right place. And this was definitely one of those days. I kind of felt like I hadn't scrapped for a little while and kind of forgot what I was doing. So I went through all of the embellishments that I've got for this collection, which again is the Delightful collection. And I pulled out a few pieces here. They're just on the bottom right hand side there. And I've got these chipboard flare as well. So I've started with 3 of them. You can see I'm trying to bring in another circle element down the bottom there. And then I'm like, you know what, I might go back to these chipboard flares. And I managed to find 2 more that I think I can make work. They are both, so I chose these ones because of the colour. They're both white with colour on top. And they've both got the pink and the yellow in them. So that's why I chose those ones. And then I've got that, the one that says yes, which has got some of that like tealy, greeny kind of colour. So I kind of use that colour more sparingly around the layout. I'm going to make a triangle with my yellow, that more mustard yellow. So you can see I'm like pointing that out. This did, like I said, this did take me a while to get to this point. Lots of moving things around and changing things and adding things in. You can see I've moved that Today flare from where it was down to the bottom. So yeah, I'm just sticking things down. I really like those 3 vertical elements that I've got. So this one is a sticker, and you can see I've just stuck that to some scrap paper. I'm trimming around it, and I'm going to take these off camera, so this one and then the 2 banners, and add some more stitching. And I just do 1 single line on each piece underneath the text. I'll show you those here. And then I'm just going to stick those, the 3 of them down. I'm going to stick them down with some foam tape, just to give them a little bit of dimension. My cut file is also popped up. I used my little tabby pop dots from SpiegelMom Scraps. They are so awesome, so easy to get that adhesive off the back. One of the reasons why I like them, because they're so simple to use. So I'm going to add in these 3 vertical pieces. That's not vertical, that's horizontal. My apologies. I always get those 2 confused. It is horizontal pieces. Just trimming off my my thread and sliding that in there. I really like the way this layout came together in the end. I do end up having to trim down this label a little bit. I can't quite get it under my photo just where I want it. So I do trim that down in just a minute. And then I'm going to add my journaling. So you can see that like the main focus on this page is definitely my photo. But it looks kind of like, whoa, look at this black and white photo in the middle of the page. So I'm going to add my journaling in black underneath my white title as well. And because I've got those black splatters, the photo doesn't blend into the background. It's very obviously still there, but I feel like it just draws everything a bit better together. I also go in and stamp with my black Versamark ink above that Happiness is Here banner, which just brings that little extra bit of black, and I feel like that really helps to balance those really light airy colours with the black and white photo. The last thing that I add, and I mucked around with these for ages, are these foiled acetate butterflies. I did these in a class ages and ages and ages ago at a local scrapbooking store. They are this magenta foil, and on acetate, I think this is another Pink Fresh Studio product. I'm not sure, it was that long ago. And I'm going to add 3 in. You can see I'm trying every single butterfly. And I end up So I fold their wings up, and because it's acetate, I can like make the fold really quite harsh, and then stick just the bodies down. I realise once this goes in my album, those wings will flatten down, and that's okay. Then I go with this one right there. I went to bend the wing up a little bit more, and it popped off. So when it popped off, I folded the wing, and then I've restuck it down. One of my last touches here is some enamel dots. Those dark blue ones again are from the other collection, the Life Right Now collection. And then I've gone in with some pink and yellow. These are Ultra New enamel dots. I love these because you get like all the different colours of the one colour in one pack. They're so good. I love them so much. So I'm just going to add in my 3 little clusters of 3, going with the blue, the pink and the yellow. So I've used those 3 main colours as well. I think I just said black, but I meant blue. But I've used those 3 main colours to embellish this whole page and bring it all together. And I really love the way that this looks. I'm going to use my T-square ruler just to add in my first line for my journaling, just so that I get it reasonably straight. Add my journaling in, and then stamp my date and call it done. So I just journal about how excited I was to finally see Tam and Gwen again, and to finally meet Karen. It was so much fun. I had such a great weekend. Yeah, totally worth flying across the country for a few days. So stamp my date, and that is my whole page done. I did like curl up all the edges and lift them up a little bit, just for a little bit of extra interest and dimension to my page. I hope you've enjoyed my share today. Everything is linked in the description box below. If you do have any questions, please make sure you drop them below. Please, if you have any questions, drop them below. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you have a fantastic scrappy day. I'll see you in my next video.